The County Line is the proud loft sponsor for New Mexico Living.
Welcome back, everybody. The Idaho Stop Law, also known as Stop as Yield, allows cyclists to treat stop signs as yield signs and red lights as stop signs when safe. Now, this law was recently adopted right here in New Mexico with the goal of keeping bicyclists safer on the roads. We all want that, right? So we are joined by bicycle education coordinator Eli Costco and Bike ABQ board member Eric Biederman, breaking down this newly adopted Idaho Stop Law and the reason we decided to bring it here. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks, Logan.
Okay, got to know about this. This is really interesting. The Idaho Stop Law. I kind of referenced it in the intro, but I want you guys to break it down for me. Idaho Stop Law, what is it?
Yeah, so the Idaho Stop Law, it's a new law where cyclists can treat stop signs as a yield sign, like you mentioned. So if you're approaching an intersection that has a stop sign, you come to a slowdown, assess the situation, look both ways. If there is no traffic coming and it's clear for you, you can proceed through that intersection.
Okay.
And then for a stop light, very similar, come to a stop, treat it as a stop sign, assess the situation, look both ways. If it is clear for you, you can proceed through that intersection even if the light is still red.
Now, what were the laws before this? Whenever we came up to a stop sign or a stoplight, what was it like before the Idaho Stop Law was adopted?
Yeah, before you would just, the same thing as you would in a motorized vehicle, come to a complete stop, put your foot down, wait until it's your turn to go at a stop sign, at a stoplight, wait for it to turn green and proceed through there.
Yeah.
Okay. How is the Idaho Stop Law now making cyclists safer?
So it makes cycling safer through a few mechanisms. One is reducing exposure time at intersections. So anytime a cyclist is at or near an intersection, they are less safe. More than a quarter of all car versus bicycle collisions occur at intersections. Even just standing at an intersection waiting for a light to change can put cyclists in danger. So by reducing cyclist exposure time at intersections, the rate of crashes between cars and bicycles goes down.
Okay.
Another aspect is visibility. A moving cyclist is easier for a driver to see than a cyclist who's stationary.
Right.
So by maintaining momentum through a stop sign, they're going to be easier to spot, and a driver is less likely to strike them through inattention or just not seeing them.
Okay.
And then also, cyclists basically just have more freedom to choose the safest time to go for them. By putting that power in cyclists' hands, the rate of crashes goes down, and the statistics bear this out. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has studied all the states that have implemented these stop as yield laws, and by now, with the addition of New Mexico, I believe it's 12 states plus Washington, D.C. In every one of those states, monthly crash rates were reduced by the implementation of these laws. We call it the Idaho Stop Law because Idaho was the first state to implement one. In the year after they implemented it, they saw a 15% reduction in cyclist injuries and fatalities at intersections.
It's amazing.
Delaware was number 2. They had a 23% reduction in crash rates.
Wow.
And they only have the stop sign portion of the law. They don't have the stop light portion of the law like New Mexico does. So we have the full law, but it really has demonstrated a significant improvement in safety every place it's been put into effect.
Yeah, the proof is in the pudding, right? It works. It's proven to work. What do cyclists and drivers need to know? I know there's the logistics with the law, but what do drivers behind the wheel need to know as well as cyclists on a bike?
Yeah, so as a cyclist, you need to know that you now have that power to choose. You can move through the intersection the safest way for you, and it's going to help reduce your energy output. That's one thing that's a big benefit. As a driver, it's important to know that cyclists can do this. They're allowed to do this.
Yes.
And it's what's safest for them, and they're responsible for making the safe choice. And it's, you can just proceed as you would in a motorized vehicle and let the cyclist do what they need to do. And then the other entity here that needs to be aware is like law enforcement, traffic enforcement. This is a legal maneuver for cyclists to do, and they should be utilizing it in the safest way possible and as often as they can.
Absolutely. So a cyclist comes up to a stop sign, they treat that as a yield. They come up to a stop light, they treat that as a stop sign.
Right.
Look both ways, they can go, come to the stop sign, yield, make sure you're good to go, and then they can keep going.
Yeah.
This is cool, and I love that it works too. We have proof that it works.
Absolutely.
What helped make this reality in New Mexico? How did we bring this here?
Yeah, this was a statewide effort by a number of bike advocacy organizations and some very forward-thinking legislators. So Bike ABQ teamed up with Bike Santa Fe, Velo Crucis, and other bike advocacy organizations from across the state. We assembled a team of expert witnesses to help on the legislative and testifying committee hearings. That included Alex Applegate with the Greater Albuquerque Active Transportation Committee, Lynn Pickard of Bike Santa Fe, and then I really want to give a shout out to Senator Antoinette Cedillo Lopez Lopez and Representative Pamela Herndon, they sponsored this bill in their respective chambers at the New Mexico State Legislature to help bring this into effect statewide. And we had great support from their staffs as well. Julia Radosevich and Clifford Rees, the legislative aides to Senator Cedillo Lopez, and Bronwyn Murray and Elise Taylor with Representative Herndon all did a fantastic job helping shepherd this through the process.
Yeah, forward-thinking legislators here, making bicyclists safer on the roads. That's the goal. It's worked, and it's going to work here too. We just got to make sure that we focus on what we're allowed to do and what we're not allowed to do, right? And drivers always stay vigilant. Bicyclists as well stay vigilant. Also, where can we go to find out more about the Idaho Stop Law online?
Yeah, so, Bike ABQ, we have a lot of publications on our socials, our email newsletters. Reach out to Bike ABQ if you have questions about the law.
Gotcha.
And then, KRQ, of course, is airing a new ad that's highlighting the main aspects of the law for the public, and we're really grateful to have that out in the open now where people can learn from it. Absolutely. And then, of course, at Esperanza too, your educational campaign.
Yeah. I mean, every Monday, actually, we teach a safety course, and we're talking a lot about all the different traffic laws, and this is one of the things we're highlighting a lot to make sure that folks know what's coming on.
Lovely.
Yep.
Where can we go to find out more about that, what you're doing there?
Yeah, so Esperanza, we have a website as part of the city of Albuquerque. So really, if you just Google Esperanza, you're going to come up with us. And you can always call the shop, stop by the shop, something like that.
There we go. And if you want to find something, guys, you can't find it, just Idaho Stop Law. Type it in, you'll find it right there, all the information as well.
Yep.
Thank you so much for coming in today, and thank you for what you guys are doing for the bicycling community. This is amazing stuff. Love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, for more information on this entire interview, head over to krqe.com, click on that New Mexico Living tab.